YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Jarvis Parson, aka Spidey from Spidey Weber Productions, and today we're here to do something a little different. Today we are here to talk about how I built a sculpture with little to no money for a music video. Let's get into it. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jarvis Parson, aka Spidey, and welcome to my channel. And on this channel I like to talk about everything. I'm a music video director, I'm a director, I'm a videographer, so I talk about that stuff. I drop gems about life, I drop gems about a lot of stuff. Just whatever comes to my mind, I'm gonna spin it to this mic and y'all just gonna listen to. So, but before we get started, I want y'all to do me a favor. Share this video with everybody you know. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and also hit the notification bell so you get notified the next time I drop a video. Oh, and I also want to show y'all this new thing. So I just got these new lights to add to my little YouTube or my desk setup. So, but it's also for YouTube, you know, whatever. Wrong button. They change colors. So all the colors on the color wheel, pretty cool. I thought I liked it. I was like, oh man, I got it from Target. I think I spent like $30 for both of these. Really cool investment. You put it up with some Velcro, you straight. Anyway, so this video, right now I'm here to talk about how I built the sculpture for this music video. And the music video is called Stiffest by Stiff Barbie, and I'm gonna show y'all a preview of that right now.
These bitches wanna act like they just that bitch. Like, you really can't even get in. Barbie, I'm the stiffest bitch alive, ain't no need for debate. Hell yeah, they call me Barbie, that don't mean that I'm fake. Now she wanna be my friend, but I told her I'm straight. Her nigga come and eat this pussy, then we go to the bank.
So yep, that was Stiffest by Stiff Barbie, a preview of it. If you want to see the full video, the link to it will be in the description. One of my best videos to date, from how I feel and from what a lot of people that see that video is from what they tell me. So I do appreciate it. I put a lot of hard work into it. I put my foot in that video. So I want y'all to check it out. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out. If you have seen it, share it with everybody. And I'm gonna show y'all how I was able to build that little sculpture. They got Stiff Barbie written all in the background. Man, it looked like they was in a room full of like Stiff Barbie written in pink with this paint. I'm gonna show y'all how I built that for little to no money and where I got the idea from. The inspiration behind that sculpture, I got it from Jacob Owens. He's a director, film director, music video director. He's directed a lot of music videos for some of our favorite celebrities, and one of them is Kyle. And Kyle, back in their early days, he had a video called Really Yeah. I'm gonna show y'all some of the clips, but this particular clip right here, where he got Really Yeah written all in the background in the sculpture, I wanted to duplicate that because I thought that was a really dope idea, and I wanted to be able to implement that in this video. So only bad thing about that is Jacob Owens got bigger budgets, and looking at his behind the scenes, that budget looked like it was pretty much, I could see with that particular budget, I'm sure he paid a few $1,000s, if not maybe a little less, to get that done. And he used wood, so he needed a team to securely put that up to make sure it wasn't no danger that it wasn't gonna fall on nobody. But I wanted to be able to do that myself, but I wanted to figure out how am I able to do that with a smaller budget, because what he paid would have probably took up my entire budget. So how I got into that, I decided to do something different and use styrofoam instead of wood. Styrofoam is safer because if it falls on somebody, it won't cause no damage. I mean, those things are really, really lightweight, like really, really lightweight. So if y'all see right here, these are the styrofoam, I guess you would call them like pads that I use to build the walls. I bought 8 of them. They're 4x8, 4 feet wide, 8 feet tall. put 4 of them, put 8 of them together and built that wall, and I painted them. So this is the price for them here at Lowe's. Pretty dope. They actually really, they really light, really flimsy, really light, really flimsy. But with them being 4x8, I didn't want it to look like a rectangular box, more like a square box. So I doubled them up to make a full wall. So for each wall, it took 2 4x8 pads. So I needed one for the top, one for the side, one from the back, and one for the other side. 2, 4, 6, 8 pads. I had to keep them together. So what I did was I taped them. Or did I glue them? No, I used tape. I used duct tape to keep them together. So when I left Lowe's, I spent about $110. But I also had to use a truck to transport it because I got a car and I wasn't able to make it fit in my car. I can't fit those 4x8 pads in my car, so I ended up renting the truck, which cost about $20. And then I also bought these cans. Now with these cans, I spray painted each one of these myself. Luckily, Jacob Owens had a team for his. I wasn't as fortunate. My budget didn't allow me, so I just had to do it myself. So I single-handedly spray painted every single letter y'all see on them pads. I single-handedly spray painted every last one of those. Took me forever, but it was worth it. So what I did was I bought 8 of these. And with one can, I would probably get about 1.5 pads done with each can. So one can would finish 1.5 pads. So I just got 8 of them just to be on the safe side. And each can was roughly about $5. So that also goes into the budget. Then also spent about $3 on duct tape. And on the day of the shoot, I had to use a U-Haul. The U-Haul was about $75 because I had to transport it. And also with it being styrofoam, styrofoam don't stand on its own. So I needed something to keep it to stand up straight without leaning over, because with it being so lightweight and it being 8 feet tall, it's just gonna lean over when you do it, or when you stand it up. So I needed something to keep it straight, and I'm thinking that the tape was gonna do it, but it wasn't. So what I did was I bought 12 wood pine boards, and they were 1 by 2 by 8 feet. So, it was 1 inch by 2 inch by 8 feet long. So they really thin but extremely tall, matching the height of the pads. So I bought 2 of those for each pad, and I got 2 pads for each wall. So each pad had 2. But I did not get wood boards. I didn't get those for the ones at the top, because for safety reasons, if they fell over, I didn't want them to fall on nobody, and I needed the top to be as light as possible, because they're at the top. If they bend a little bit, it's not as important compared to on the sides. So because I didn't want no gaps, so I wanted to be like flat all the way across. At the top, it wasn't as important. I did not get any wood pads for the top, only for the ones on the side, so that's why I only got 8 instead of 12. In studio time, we used about 4 hours, because we did other scenes too. We used about 4 hours. So all together, and I got some stencils. I used stencils to also paint every last one of those letters, and they can get very messy. So I would recommend doubling up on stencils, because they can get very messy. Luckily, I was careful to make it work, because I did tear some of them. Because after painting the stencils back to back to back, they tend to lose their strength. They get softened like wet paper. I ripped a few of them, but I was still able to make it work. So not each letter on the sculpture is perfect, but it got the job done. I would recommend you doubling up on the stencils, just in case you mess them up. You got backups, but it can get very messy. Each pad took about an hour to do, so I want to say it took about 8 hours. It took about 8 hours to knock all this out, but I separated amongst the days, And I ain't gonna lie, it was one day I was like, man, I just don't feel like working on this today, man. I was out there, I was tired. I put my headphones in, and I just went to work. So yeah, it was a journey. It was very exciting, but very tiring. I bought some gloves to make sure I don't get no paint on my hands and stuff like that. I was really careful on where I stepped because I had to step on it to paint it, so I didn't want to get paint all in other areas. So I was really careful on that. I also bought some plastic to go underneath it, so I didn't get any paint on my floor because I didn't want to have to do that. And also, I recommend doing this outside. Don't do this inside because you're painting. Now, what Jacob Owens did in his, he had people that knew how to paint, and they painted all these by hand with paint brushes. I was not going to do that. That was going to take way too long. And plus, they were really detailed on how they painted those, because they had some really big, had some really small. They fit them in little areas. I didn't have the luxury of doing that, so I just used stencils and I just went across. I did some straight, I did some upside down, I did some sideways, but I ain't had the luxury of doing them in different sizes. I just knew that I just wanted to get the general point across. I ain't had the luxury of being that detailed, but that's fine. I just wanted to get the general point across. And sometimes when you're working on a smaller budget, the focus is getting the point across. Knowing the level that I'm at, I didn't have to go that detailed because I knew this video wasn't going to get no 10 million views. Now, possibly it could have. But I knew at the level that I'm at, being realistic, I didn't really need to go that detailed. I just want to get the general point across. And I recommend that to anybody that's coming up with ideas. Go to as close as detailed as you can, but at the end of the day, get the point across. As long as you get the point across, you did the job. Anything extra is just icing on the cake. And shout out to the homies that came out to the shoot to help me out. Y'all were my backbone. Y'all had my back, and we made this work. Cause I could have not put this up by myself. While I'm talking, I'm gonna be having some of the behind the scene clips playing. But yeah, man, they really helped me out. They really showed they behind with this, and we all put our foot in this project. I appreciate it. It really went as how I planned. And I really felt this being exciting. It really was dope. So $110 for the pads, $20 for the truck, $5 for the cans for 8 cans. So multiply that for 8 cans. $3 for the duct tape, $75 for the U-Haul, $65 per hour for the studio. But if you lucky, you might be able to do this outside. I wouldn't recommend it because it's styrofoam. And if it blows, it's probably going to blow it over. I mean, if it's windy, it's probably going to blow it over. So I recommend you doing this indoors. Paint it outdoors, though. Do not spray paint this stuff indoors. You will mess yourself up. And then $4 for the 8-foot wood that went behind the pads. And I bought 12 of those. And then $10 for the stencils. So add all that up, and that's how much it costs to do that. Now, if you got a truck and you're able to carry all these pieces, cool, that'll save you some money on the U-Hauls and the truck. So that'll take $20 off for the U-Haul, and I'll also take $75 off if you got a truck. I didn't have that. I had a car, so I had to find a way to transport this stuff. So that was already dang near another $100 just for transportation. So, but overall, for what I built, that was pretty cheap, in my opinion. I saved a lot of money compared to what Jacob Owens probably spent building that. With much respect, because his looked a whole lot better than mine. But I think I did good by getting the point across. And with the amount of money I spent, it was dope. So I made this video because I want to inspire those that feel that, man, that I need to have this amount of money to do this. I want to have this amount of money to do that. No, I want you to know that by watching this video and seeing what I was able to create with the amount of money I had, that just goes to show you, if there's a will, there's a way. If you really want to do something, don't let things that can be worked around get in your way. Don't think that it's only one way to accomplish things. Like they say, it's 1,000 ways to skin a cat. Figure out which way you're going to take and make it happen. If you really want something to happen, you really want to accomplish something, There's a lot of different ways to be able to do things. Understand that you don't have to have everything. Just take what you have relatively available to you and make it happen. But I want to thank y'all for watching, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and also hit the notification button. And until next time, peace.